Hello, I hope you are doing well. I am Milad Kambari, and welcome to the introduction of another add-on from the Blende collection. In this video, I want to show you how to work with the Batch Render Pro add-on, how this batch render can save our cameras one after another for us, as well as save our render elements alongside our main renders, and it can also perform the batch loading of our files, meaning when the scene is static and only the models within that scene change, it can bring new models for us and perform the rendering task, which I will explain to you one by one in the following. This plugin within this add-on actually has 4 different sections. The first section is your camera identification section, which can detect your cameras for you. If you add a new camera to the scene, you can hit refresh and it will show you the cameras. The second section is the model reloader section, where you can reload your models. The models are also reloaded in batch, one after another. The next section is the output section, where your models, or rather your renders, should be saved and whether it should create subfolders for you or not, whether it should put your renders in different folders or not. For instance, when you want to render with 2 or 3 cameras, it specifies a camera for each. It specifies a folder for each camera and places the cameras and your camera renders inside that folder for you. In the beauty section, you can set what resolution your main render should be saved with. If the Add Timestamp section is checked and turned on, the day and hour of the render being taken will be recorded for you. This prevents your renders from overlapping and actually being overwritten, ensuring no render is deleted and the renders remain permanent, and it prevents naming similarities from causing 2 renders to overlap. The important part is the Save Options section, where you can define whether your main render or beauty render should be saved or not, whether your render elements should be saved or not. If you have render elements, you can set them to save or not, and at what resolution the render element is exported, or rather in what format it is exported, where I have set the format to PNG here. Now it says your active element is only the depth element, and I can select 2 or 3 other elements here: diffuse color, glossiness, direct, and that's it. Let's have this to see what happens. In the first step, I want to render in the normal mode, a render that after it finishes saves not only the render itself, but all the elements for us as well. Look here, when I checked the element box, look at the element menu. Here, the elements I checked brought up the element menu for me, showing which elements are going to be saved. Now I hit render here. I hit render and autosave, and automatically after the render is finished, let me show you the screen. Look here, the render is finished. Now wait a few moments. It is saving its elements one by one for you, and every element it saves, it places it for you with the name of that specific element. And this, our element process, isn't finished yet. Okay, it's finished now. It has saved all the elements for us. So you saw here, the render it saved, the render I initiated, it also placed its elements for me. Now if you have cameras, for example, like here, I have 2 cameras, how do these 2 cameras work? Come to this section. If you have a new camera, hit refresh so your new camera is added. If not, it detects itself which cameras you have in the scene. Check these 2 cameras and hit the batch render button. When you hit the batch render, I will delete this render, this camera. When we hit the batch render button, it goes for rendering. To even realize what is happening in your workflow, if you like, you can open the Window Toggle System Console section. See your workflow line to see what is happening. Here, I hit the batch render button and it went for rendering. Well, you see here that it is writing the name of each render, and it also reports to us that it is being saved. The first camera finished and it went to the second camera. Let's look at the first camera together. These are the specifications of the first camera, and it went to the second camera, and now it is saving the elements of the second camera for us one by one. It is showing us here as well. Well, all our cameras were saved along with their render elements. This is our camera saved along with its render elements. That's that. Let's go to the next case. If we had several objects, how do we bring these objects? For example, I currently have this monkey model with several different materials in this scene for the same scene. I want these batch models to be loaded one by one, rendered, and then go to the camera, or rather, the next model. Now what should we do? First, I specify the folder for it. I define my models folder for it. Once we opened the browser, select all your models. We hit accept. If it didn't show your models, hit Scan. Once you scan, it scans all the information inside this folder for you and shows the models here. Remember that when you are using the batch reloader and render mode, there shouldn't be any other model in your scene. Otherwise, these new models will be placed on top of your main scene model, and two models will be placed on top of each other, which will completely ruin your work. I have also put a button here for you. The Remove After Render button deletes every model after its render is taken. This makes it very neat and prevents models from overlapping. Now hit the Batch Reload button. When we hit the batch reload, it starts rendering models one by one. I will bring up the toggle here for you too so you can see they're being saved one by one. I'll bring the folder for you too. Each model with its own name in this way. Right now it is rendering the car paint model, Monkey Car Paint, with its own name. All renders were taken and its element was also placed beside it. It is reading the settings of all renders from Blender's own settings, and this is from the second camera. When the first camera finished and the first model finished, it goes and does the same tasks for the next models. If you look, no models have overlapped at all. Once the first model finished, it brought the second model for us. This is the second model. We wait a few moments for all cameras to be captured. I won't cut or pause the video so you can see that it is performing all these tasks. Here, exactly in the log, in our console, we can see the full result, and it has also given explanations that currently it is the second of 4 models, and we are now on the Monkey Gold model. Now it went to the Monkey Candle model and is rendering our next model for us. We wait a few moments for this to finish. Well, our renders are also finished. It took 48 renders for us and provided the full data for us as well. And here we are seeing each render with its elements together. I hope this script, or rather this add-on, is useful for you.